The Spy Who Loved Me is a 1977 film, the 10th in the James Bond series produced by Ian Productions. It is the third film to star Roger Moore as the fictional secret agent James Bond. The co-stars of the movie are Barbara Bach and Kurt Jurgens, and it was directed by Lewis Gilbert. The film was shot in Egypt, around Cairo and Luxor, as well as in Italy near Sardinia, with underwater scenes filmed in the Bahamas. The interior scenes were filmed at Pinewood Studios, on a new soundstage that was enormous, designed to accommodate the massive supertanker set. In this movie, we find James Bond on a mission to uncover how the Royal Navy's Polaris submarine, carrying 16 nuclear warheads, mysteriously disappeared while on patrol. Bond teams up with Major Anya Amasova and faces the mastermind Karl Stromberg, along with his henchman nicknamed Jaws, known for his mouthful of metal teeth. Bond must locate the missing submarine before its nuclear warheads are launched. At the time of its release, the James Bond film franchise was the most profitable in the world, and many manufacturers wanted their products featured in the movie. There was fierce competition among companies vying to supply Bond's car. Don McLaughlin, Lotus's PR manager, decided the best way to win this coveted spot was to make the producers chase him rather than plead with them. One day, he appeared at Pinewood Studios driving a new, unreleased Lotus Esprit with all identifying marks covered. He parked it in front of the Bond set, knowing the producers would see it when they went out for lunch. As a crowd gathered around the car, McLaughlin got in and drove away without answering any questions. Just as he anticipated, the producers were desperate to learn about the car, and it was chosen for the film. The stunt driver initially had difficulty making the car look exciting in the chase scenes because it gripped the road so well. It had to be driven dangerously fast to achieve dramatic slides around corners. A scene in Sardinia required the car to climb a mountain pass and take sharp turns. When the usual stunt driver was unavailable, the crew asked Lotus employee Roger Becker to drive the car. He executed the sequence perfectly, dramatically sliding around corners and performing a 180-degree spin on gravel at the top of the mountain. The crew asked him to repeat the performance for the cameras, and Becker became the stunt driver for the scenes involving the car. Dick Sylvester's spectacular ski stunt was filmed atop Mount Asgard on Baffin Island, Canada. The summit was accessible only by helicopter and a small crew, including Sylvester and second unit director John Glenn, traveled there in July 1976, a month before principal photography began. They stayed in a nearby village for 10 days, waiting for the perfect weather to film the scene. Multiple cameras were set up to capture the moment. All the camera operators thought they lost sight of the skier as he launched off the cliff, except for one camera, which followed him through the entire stunt. The scene was captured in a single take, earning Sylvester $30,000 for his role. He reportedly received a bonus upon completing the stunt. Richard Kiel, who played Jaws, could only wear his metal teeth for about 30 seconds at a time due to the excessive pain they caused. He often had to show comedic expressions on camera, contrasting how uncomfortable he actually felt wearing the teeth. In one scene, Jaws bites through a chain, although the chain was made of licorice, not metal. Keel also had a stunt double, Martin Grace, for some scenes. To replicate Jaws' metallic teeth for the double, they wrapped a piece of orange peel in aluminum foil and placed it in his mouth in front of his teeth. One fascinating piece of trivia is that Elvis Presley watched this movie on Wednesday, August 10, 1977, during a private screening at the Southland Mall Theater. It was the last movie he ever saw, as he died 6 days later, on Tuesday, August 16, 1977. The title song, Nobody Does It Better, was sung by Carly Simon with music by Marvin Hamlish. It was the second Bond theme song with a title different from the movie's title, though the phrase, "The Spy Who Loved Me," appears in the lyrics. The first such song was We Have All the Time in the World from On Her Majesty's Secret Service. One of the early directors considered for the project was a relatively unknown Steven Spielberg. However, Concerns about his lack of experience arose, and he was busy with a lengthy production schedule for a little-known movie he was working on at the time called Jaws. This film also had a cultural impact on American views of Russian women. Before its release, many Americans assumed all Russian women were unattractive, often a subject of easy jokes by comedians like Johnny Carson. During an appearance by Roger Moore on his show, Carson admitted that the film had ruined half of his jokes. Caroline Munro, who played the villainous Naomi, was cast for the role after her appearance in a highly successful ad campaign for Lamb's Navy Rum, often featuring her in a slightly unzipped wetsuit. On one filming day, she accidentally sat on a bee and was stung, leaving her in pain while shooting her introductory scene, where she waves from a boat to Roger Moore and Barbara Bach. Her serious expression in that moment was not due to her character, but the discomfort from the sting. The movie grossed $185 million worldwide, with $46 million coming from the United States alone. Check out this fun James Bond film. It's always a trip back in time.
Here we end. Thank you for your attention. Like and subscribe. There are many interesting things ahead. Good luck.